Let's now talk about this issue. Calvin Dark is a political analyst, democratic strategist, and principal and co-founder of RC Communications. Mr. Dark, welcome to Race to Power. Let's start by talking about the consequences of Trump's statements. What are the consequences of Trump's statements? Because if you think about it, he's begun with Canada, he moved on to Panama, and now he's talking about Greenland. In the long run, when he takes office, what will be the effects of his statements right now?
Well, good to be here today. I think, first of all, we need to realize something about Donald Trump, that he said these things for three reasons. And this includes what he said about the Panama Canal, Greenland, but also, in a way, with Canada and Mexico. First, Donald Trump wants to be the center of attention in the center of the news all the time. And he knows that when he makes controversial statements like this, he becomes focus of the news. Keep in mind, he's just the president-elect. He's not even the president yet he's the leading story. That's Trump's first goal. The second goal is Donald Trump has said since the beginning of his political life that too many countries have taken advantage of America, and because America doesn't fight back, America is suffering economically, strategically around the world. And so what he says about Greenland and Panama, Canada and Mexico reinforces that message to his followers that he is not going to let any country take advantage of America. And third, and I think this is the one that is most likely to be a consequence, we know that Donald Trump has said that when it comes to trade, when it comes to the U.S. economy, that's his first priority. And we know that China is a major factor in that equation. And we also know that China manages some of the workings around the Panama Canal. So these statements by Donald Trump are sending a message to China that he is willing to use any means, potentially non-diplomatic means, non-traditional means, to make America great again, to pursue America First policy. So that's kind of what's behind the statements we've been seeing recently.
Mr. Dark, let's talk about more about these consequences, because we are seeing that Denmark is, emboldening their defense. Are they justified to do that? And also, Panamanians are really angry about Trump, and with Trump's statement, are they justified to be angry and furious over Trump's statement?
Yes and no. And I think that the question you ask is a question that we have in America. Is Donald Trump serious about these things or no? And the answer is yes and no. Let's start with the no. No, he's not going to retake control of the Panama Canal. One, he can't do that alone as president. Two, it would be against the agreements we have with Panama. Also, he's not going to take Greenland back. Greenland's not for sale. We've heard that from Greenland and from Denmark. So in that sense, he's not serious. But in the sense that he is serious, he is sending a very clear message that he will do anything it takes to put America first. And so be it our allies or our adversaries must be prepared that Donald Trump will get what's best in America's interest. So I do think our allies in Europe, particularly those in NATO, should listen, because that threat is serious. Donald Trump is about America and America first, and maybe America only.
Mr. Dark, as we wind this conversation, what do you think Panama and Denmark should do at this juncture?
Well, I think that they shouldn't make as big a deal as they're making about it. I mean, we understand that what he said was serious, but they also should understand it's that reaction, the statements from the president of Panama, the protest around the embassy. That's what Donald Trump is looking for. So if you give him that attention, he's already succeeded. I also think they need to realize they're going to be working with an American president for 4 years that doesn't act traditionally. And so when it comes to trade, security, or anything else in our relationship with these countries, they need to be aware that they are dealing with someone who is not traditional. And so that should guide their conversations and actions with America for the next 4 years.
All right. I've been talking to Mr. Calvin Dark. Mr. Calvin, thank you very much for your time and for talking to us today.
Thank you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.